Hi, everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terrence Gardino. The week begins on Monday, December the 14th, with a new moon solar eclipse. A solar eclipse is always a new moon, but think of it as a new moon. It always brings in once a month new undertakings, a new focus in your life, a lot of new beginnings. But when it's a solar eclipse, the new moon energy is supercharged. So in other words, if it's affecting your horoscope, your individual life, instead of if it was just a regular new moon, your attention would be drawn to what Sagittarius highlights in your life. But if it's affecting your individual chart because it's a solar eclipse, it could be affecting you strongly for the next at least 6 months. A solar eclipse brings a lot of focus to where there's things been hidden. And so there's a lot of adjustments going on. Remember, it's a darkening of the light, when the sun is eclipsed. So the general rule of thumb is don't be making any major decisions in life, especially the first week from the 14th to the 21st, because there's information that is yet to be revealed. There's things, there might be some secrets. You just may not have all the information to make the best decisions. But this is a pretty good solar eclipse for the world because it's going to be in harmony with Mars. And Mars, when it's in harmony, is assertive, ambitious, having courage. And on Monday, during the eclipse, a benefic, pleasure-seeking Venus is going to be in harmony with Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet that's associated with Sagittarius. Venus-Jupiter can be very favorable for socializing, friendships, entertainment. Just remember to socially distance, but also very good for attracting money. But ordinarily, if it wasn't this solar eclipse, that Venus-Jupiter would just be influencing you for the day. But because it's tied up and influenced with the solar eclipse, this very favorable Venus-Jupiter energy could be tagging along with the eclipse energy for the next 6 months. So that's really favorable. On Tuesday, now as we're moving on, the moon will have left Sagittarius, because that's the new moon is when the moon and the sun align in the same sign. But by Tuesday, the moon has now moved into Capricorn for 2.5 days. Capricorn is more pragmatic, more conventional, more responsible energies. And Venus is now in harmony with Saturn. Saturn is the planet that's associated with Capricorn. Venus-Saturn is good for business. Accomplishing your goals, getting the job done, but keep doing, working on projects from the past. Try not to be starting fresh with something all new with work and business. Not just yet. Give it, like I said, till after the 21st. But Venus has been in Scorpio for the last several weeks. A lot of passion, a lot of intensities, but Scorpio can also be secrets. Now, Venus is moving into Sagittarius on the 15th for several weeks, once a year. Sagittarius is traveling, curiosity about the world, education. Venus is what we love and enjoy and desire. Sagittarius tends to be very outgoing and friendly, and Venus is that pleasure-seeking planet. So it's ideal for the next several weeks with the holiday season from Hanukkah and Christmas and New Year's Eve with Venus in Sagittarius. Just remember to socially distance. Wednesday, on the 16th, the moon continuing in Capricorn, but by morning, or somewhere early morning till noonish, Pacific Standard Time, the moon is going to be in tension with impatient, irritable Mars, and then crossing over compulsive Pluto, dark Pluto. So our emotional reactions may be more stressed out up until about noon on Pacific Standard Time. Later in the evening, around 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so for the rest of the world, it's mostly on Thursday, the 17th, that Saturn moves into Aquarius and will be in Aquarius for a little over 2 years, once every 30 years. Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn points out what you need to take responsibility for, get focused, get serious. And it's with Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of groups and organizations. So you might be forming an organization. You might be working with a collaboration, a group, a company of people. Aquarius also represents the future, represents technology, science. And so that's where the Saturn, there's going to be so much more focus and responsibilities in those areas overall. Thursday, the moon is now also in Aquarius with Saturn in Aquarius. And by late morning, early afternoon, like from 11 to 1 Pacific Standard Time, so make that adjustment, the moon will be in tension with Uranus. But Uranus is the planet that rules Aquarius. So moon Uranus is about these unexpected surprises, but it could also be these unexpected insights and epiphanies. Friday, the moon continues in Aquarius, but now it's going to be in harmony midday, Pacific Standard Time, to ambitious, assertive Mars. So you're revved up, ready to go, take chances. It's certainly a very busy mental day. A lot of meetings, a lot of discussions, ideas. Mental because moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. Air signs have a lot to do with communications and ideas. Saturday, the moon has now moved into Pisces for the weekend. Pisces is more creative, more compassionate, more sensitive. But this is a really big day because about 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, expansive Jupiter goes into Aquarius for the first time in 12 years. So now Jupiter is aligning with Saturn. It's going to be exact on Monday to the minute. There's like 60 minutes in a degree. So it's going to take 2 more days for Jupiter to go to 0 degrees Aquarius to exactly aligning with Saturn. It's just like a technical thing. But that's the beginning of a major new cycle of growth. And it's in the sign of Aquarius. So there's going to be what I and many astrologers have called this cycle has not happened of Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius in somewhere between 700 and 800 years. And Jupiter-Saturn is building long-term economic foundations. So being in Aquarius, this bodes very well for the digital age, technology, computers, science. And the sun is aligning with Mercury on Saturday. So a lot of ideas a lot of discussions. And on Sunday, now the Mercury is entering into Capricorn for several weeks. And that the mind, Mercury, what you're thinking, what you're planning in Capricorn is more pragmatic, more sensible, but it's also, Capricorn is about tradition. And we're going into the traditional holidays. And with Mercury, this is what you're thinking about. You could be thinking more about the rituals of tradition. Now, before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for a one-question offer for a nominal fee, and you can request it by going to the main page of astrologyanswers.com, clicking on the tab that says Advisors, and continue scrolling down until you come to my name. Now, I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.